Recap. Tales of Herding Gods, Chapter 5 and 99. Chapter Chinmu's face, veiled by the white ribbon, froze for a heartbeat. Then, as if a spring had been released, a radiant smile spread across his features. He quickened his pace, closing the distance to Granny Sai. The third eye upon his brow gazed upon her. He could perceive the primordial spirit within her, yet the hunger to consume it had vanished. His heart was calm. Perhaps the world held many faces as fair as Granny C's, yet beneath most souls were not as pure, as gentle. In truth, Chinmu felt deep gratitude. It was Granny C who had raised him with tireless care. Her kindness, like the softest of rivers, had become his own. Though she bore the infamous title of Heavenly Devil Cult Saintess, the woman branded a murderer of her own spouse, she remained the gentlest in the disabled elderly village. Every soul in disabled elder village harboured shadows of darkness, hidden from the world, wandering into the great ruins. Only Granny C had been thrust there by fate. Her beauty, a supposed curse, forced her to mask herself in the guise of age, turning her away from the world's envy and strife. While others wielded beauty as a weapon, she sought to conceal it, embracing the guise of an ordinary elder. I can already command the desire this eye brings, Chinmu thought, a warm sense of accomplishment settling in his chest. He surveyed the surroundings. Though the remnants of countless devil souls lingered, he no longer desired to consume them. Acceptance had settled within him. Granny C's gaze returned to him, her voice soft as a spring breeze. Mu'er, your aura has shifted. Has something occurred? Something marvelous, Chinmu replied, eyes bright with delight. Something that brings me joy. Granny C's curiosity bloomed. What is marvelous? Speak. I feel, Chinmu declared, his voice ringing, that you are the most beautiful woman in the world, and also the kindest. Pearl earrings swayed from Granny C's ears as she shook her head, her smile gentle. How can a demoness of the Heavenly Devil cult be the kindest? I am not. Mu'er, you are the kindest. Chinmu chuckled. Even the cult master of Heavenly Devil cult lacks a kind soul. A warmth filled Granny Sai's heart, their laughter mingling as they strode toward the nearest sacrificial altar. Suddenly both halted. In the distance the altar loomed, towering as a mountain, steps ascending on all four sides, reaching into the clouds. Its runes flickered, alive with the power of sacrifice, meant to summon the ruin of Luofu heaven. Saint Woodcutter had fashioned this altar with the devil race's blood rites, yet the plan was grander. The obliteration of Luofu heaven itself, to transform its essence into pure energy. Such power bore unknown perils, restraining even the boldest from acting lightly. Yet Supreme Emperor Heaven's defeat left no choice. The destruction was necessary for the devil race to enter eternal peace. It was not their strength but their destructive purpose that mattered. Atop the altar a god stood, battle-axe raised, ki and blood surging skyward. Below, tens of thousands of devil soldiers swarmed, crawling like insects, desperate to reach the apex. The god swung his weapon, light and steel flashing, severing countless limbs. Rivers of crimson ran down the altar's steps. Wave upon wave of axe swinging clashed with the relentless tide of devils. Death meant nothing. Their frenzy was unending. Granny Sai, these devils are but ordinary divine arts practitioners, Chinmu murmured, brow furrowed. Why throw themselves so recklessly? Granny C's gaze sharpened. Even divine Bridge Realm devils were no match for the god atop the altar, a being among Saint Woodcutter's 20 honoured gods. Though lesser than Saint Woodcutter, his might surpassed most divine beings. No force of mere devils could unseat him. Furilua would not be so foolish, Granny C pondered. Then why do they charge to their deaths? Might a devil god be hidden among them, siphoning the god's strength? Chinmu's third eye scrutinized, divine treasures laid bare. No hidden devil god revealed itself. Suddenly, realization struck him. It is a blood sacrifice. Furiluo seeks to summon a terrifying being through this sacrificial rite. A devil god must be nearby. As he spoke, the blood halted. Corpses and living devils alike froze, levitating. In a heartbeat, flesh, bone, and primordial spirit were atomized, transforming into a swirling river of blood around the altar and the god above. The god swung, divine might radiating, yet the sacrificial spell held firm. Chinmu's gaze extended beyond, seeking the devil god orchestrating this rite. Granny C, eyes keen, joined him. She had woven her vital chi circulation through her body, incorporating Blind's divine eyes. Though less refined than Blind, her perception rivaled the heavens. Yet the devil god remained concealed, hidden within the fracture of space above the altar, hair loose, steps erratic, exuding madness and chaos. "Granny, look where my vital chi thread points. I shall reveal his location. You must strike." Chinmu's voice rang with solemn command. "You may not use the Overlord Body 3 elixir technique," Granny C warned, eyes fierce. "Only guide me with your vital chi thread. Pass me the great educational heavenly devil scriptures." Chinmu's heart stirred. He extended a thread of vital chi, soaring toward the heavens. Granny C seized the scriptures, runes dancing like serpentine threads, weaving with Chinmu's guidance. Her cultivation and divine might poured into the words, each rune imbued with the Founding Master's power, now extended into a formidable spirit weapon. The vital chi thread stretched 50 miles, nearing the hiding devil god. Its limit pressed against Chinmu's strength. The Overlord Body could extend it 6-fold, but restraint was needed. Granny Sai's voice carried command. "Do not falter, Mu'er. Your thread points the path. I shall strike." A divine bridge arched, her primordial spirit crossing toward the celestial palaces, light spilling across the heavens. The scriptures slithered like luminous serpents into the devil god's hiding, striking his heart. Surprised, the devil god reached for his brow, clutching the thread. Chinmu's solemn gaze met Granny C's, her hair flowing like 1,000 silk banners. Divine arts cascaded upon the devil god. Great educational heavenly devil scriptures erupted, hundreds of spells colliding in a deafening storm. Blood surged forth from the space crack, pouring like a waterfall across the heavens. Granny Sai exhaled, retreating the scriptures. She lifted her gaze to the altar. Though that devil god had fallen, the ritual, relentless and potent, pressed onward, its crimson river still coiling with dark intent. Great educational heavenly devil scripture still coiled like a silken thread, and Granny C wished to place it into Chinmu's hands. He shook his head, his eyes sharp like a hawk surveying the heavens. "Granny, keep the scriptures. Luofu heaven still brims with peril. It is futile for it to be with me." Granny C withdrew a small bamboo basket shaped with a circular top and a square bottom. Within lay strips of cloth, scissors, silver needles, spirit weapons of her own forging, subtle yet formidable. Their gazes lifted to the swirling blood river suspended in the sky, trapping the god who wielded a battle axe at its center. This ritual was not merely to summon a god. The blood river refused to condense into the conventional god-summoning light. Instead, fragments of blood broke away, forming intricate runes of extraordinary profundity. These were the sacrificial markings of the devil race. Sacrifice was a tradition of the devilkin. Chinmu had once studied such arts, ghost-transferring god dispatching runes command, taught by Duchin Devil King, a sacrificial rite meant to summon the Devil King to invade eternal peace. Yet upon meeting Chinmu, Duchin Devil King abandoned this ambition. The devil race had their heavens scattered across the cosmos. Duchian and Luofu heavens had fallen to ruin, each seeking means to prolong the lives and lineages of their kin. Most sacrificial arts originated from them, forming a civilization entirely foreign to the order of eternal peace or supreme emperor heaven. Even the human race had absorbed fragments of these rites, as recorded in the great educational heavenly devil scriptures, blending devil path cultivation with mortal ingenuity. Shaman spells of Roland's Golden Palace, derived from shaman god Kui, exemplified this fusion. A devil god dispatched from celestial realms to Yudu, whose power was transplanted into mortal hands. Something is amiss. Granny C's eyes narrowed as blood-colored runes proliferated around the sacrificial altar, encircled. The god from great ruins strained against his confinement, ramming the invisible walls of the blood river. Yet he could not escape, neither by force nor by will. The devil god who had orchestrated this ritual had been slain by Granny C's ambush, his strength dwarfed by the battle-axe god. Yet his method of sacrifice was profound. Even in death, his ritual ensnared the battle-axe god, leaving him incapable of breaking free. "He plans to sacrifice the battle-axe god as well." Granny Sai shuddered. "He treats the battle-axe god as an offering, meant for some ancient being, to descend upon the world alongside the blood river." Chinmu's knowledge of sacrifice paled in comparison, yet he could discern the peril. The battle-axe god, clad in armor, bled slowly, his very essence merging with the blood river. Even his weapon and armor were losing their vitality. The devil god's sacrificial technique was terrifyingly potent. The battle-axe god weakened with each passing moment, his chi and blood bleeding away. The devil god Granny struck down must have been a master of sacrificial rites, Chin-Mu murmured. You struck down a crucial figure. Granny C's voice was sorrowful. Yet we cannot save him. To intervene would be to court death. The sacrifice cannot be halted, nor can the descent of that ancient being. The god on the altar charged in futile desperation, left and right, exhausting himself further. At last he relented, standing atop the peak, head raised to the heavens, gazing upon some unseen force. This was the path of a god, destined to become sustenance for another, older power. I should have died long ago. His voice carried over the heavens, tinged with melancholy. He lamented the disasters of 20,000 years past, the comrades lost in battle, the stone statues of great ruins, the futile struggles to preserve hollow hopes. Chin-Mu and Granny C were paralyzed, powerless to intervene. The god knelt, then sat, raising his battle-axe as a lone bulwark against the sacrificial tide. His voice turned solemn, reverberating like a bell across the void. Hope, future, carefree village. We have been silent too long, founding emperor. Silent until our fighting spirit froze, silent until the people we swore to protect have perished. The mountains have shifted, familiar faces vanished. What of you? The god's roar shattered the air, confronting the heavens. Founding emperor, where are you? Can you watch your subordinates, the old soldiers, wither? The mountains, the rivers, the people you swore to protect, decayed by time? 20,000 years, and you remain hidden. Why? His cry echoed through Luofu heaven, unchallenged. My goose-wing, dispel with me. Atop the sacrificial altar, bathed in blood-red light, the god unleashed his spirit weapon. Blinding radiance erupted, dazzling all eyes. Without founding emperor, protection endures. I, former subordinate of founding emperor, heavenly emperor star, Al-Qaeda division soldier Luo Yu, shall shield our people with this broken body, preventing your descent. Rays tore through the heavens. World-shaking rumbles echoing, pulses spreading in all directions. Granny C activated the great overarching heavenly star's force field, drowning in waves of light. Rings of brilliance scorched the ground, shattering the celestial terrain. A broken planet shifted in response. Waves of energy rising only to be repelled, dispersing back into the void. The explosion was brief. Peace returned. The blood river vanished. On the altar, the god and his battle-axe were gone, the sacrificial site radiating a crimson hue. He had used his own sacrifice to prevent the ancient being's descent. Chin-Mu lingered in silence before the altar. Granny C spoke gently. Mua, let us go. He freed himself and fulfilled his destiny. We must move to the next sacrificial altar. Perhaps we will meet Saint Woodcutter. Chin-Mu followed silently. Granny C, bemused, asked, Mua, what occupies your mind? This is unlike you. I ponder whether my ancestor, the founding emperor, is truly the hero I imagined, Chin-Mu murmured. Learning my lineage in Carefree Village, I once aspired to be an indomitable hero like him, a great hero, revered, leading countless figures. Yet, perhaps he was merely an old man, fearing death, hiding in Carefree Village, living a drunken dream, having disappointed many who followed. Granny C laughed, her eyes sparkling. Mua, you are still a child. Why burden yourself with such thoughts? When I was your age, Li Tianxing fancied me, and I fretted over that. Village chief was still playing in mud. Chin-Mu smiled. Surely he was being groomed as the next human emperor. How could he play in mud? Granny, you jest. Granny C returned his smile. You are my child. Even when I did not care for you as a baby, I worried you would leave me. I have always feared your suffering, wishing to shield you from trouble. Perhaps that is the nature of a parent. You should grow carefree. All village chiefs doing, making you a human emperor. Upon our return, I shall pour Black Dog's blood over his stone statue. As they approached the second altar, a devil god assailed it, striving for dominion. The clash was fierce, awe-inspiring. Ain't Furiluo wary that Saint Woodcutter may go ruthless, sacrificing Luofu heaven? Chin-Mu shook his head. Granny C placed down her bamboo basket, drew scissors, and threaded strips of cloth with nimble fingers, weaving a tattered shirt. Furiluo is preparing tokens for negotiation. The more altars he conquers, the greater his leverage. The shirt leapt from her hands, soaring across the battlefield, wrapping itself around the devil god with a will of its own, binding him in her handiwork.